Welcome back to another video, buddy. I am Coleman, and thank you so much for joining our Survival Island Let's Play. Listen, right off the jump, if you're new here, ladies and gentlemen, this series is all about motivation, positivity. This is a 20 to 30 minute video that is supposed to take your mind off of your stresses, your worries, and it's supposed to uplift you. This is my daily video to you, to the audience, to the family that we've created, to bump you up for the day. You ain't watching this for Minecraft. You ain't watching this for the cool builds. You ain't watching this for all the stuff and things. You're watching this to take your mind off, to de-stress, to escape reality for 20, 30 minutes. And so let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be doing a lot of path work today. So we got to finish this path here. We got to finish that path over there. I want to start connecting a few more things, like maybe this over this way. So we're going to be doing a lot of path work. But what I want to talk about today is Lou Holtz. So let me just read Lou Holtz's biography, right? So Lou Holtz is a American football coach or former football coach, right? So he's one of the best head coaches in the history of coaching of football, right? He led, or here's compiling a career college head coaching record of 249 and 132. So he's literally coached his team to win double the amount of games that he's lost. He is the only head coach, the only college football head coach to lead 6 different programs to bowl games, and the only coach to guide 4 different programs to the final top 15 rankings. And then after he retired, he became a football analyst on CBS. So he is a very, very successful coach, and he has coached numerous programs to being great, to being phenomenal. And so, like, what I want to talk about is how he did that. Kind of what work ethic, what motivation, what system did he use that was so good for that? And then we can take that, tailor it to our lives. That's what we do. We tailor, things that have worked towards our lives. We don't need to make up anything. We don't need to be geniuses. We don't need to, do all this stuff and things. We just need to take what works, model it, and change it towards our lives. That's the whole goal, ladies and gentlemen. That is, I need this back out. That is the whole goal. We don't need to be fancy and make up new things. We just take what works and we do it and use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read, I think it's 9 or 10 of the most famous Lou Holtz's quotes. He is very well known for the quotes that he made because he's so articulate and he's such a good coach that it's like, okay, like, but what made him so successful? So that's what we're gonna do today, ladies and gentlemen. So, quote. All right. Hang on. Before we do that, I saw this comment. Hang on. I read comments at work. Y'all make me a little giddy, like a little schoolgirl. So Rados said, "This is on." He commented on episode 1. Episode 1 of our Survival Island series. He says, "I'm so late for this series, but I'm gonna watch it. You know what they say, it's better to be late than never." Dude, I hope you're watching this right now. Like, I hope you get through the 200 something videos, like you're a year later and you read this comment and you're like, wow, I got shouted out. That would be very intriguing. So if you're watching this video right now, I need you to comment and say, yo, what the heck, you shouted me out? Like, I need that energy in my life right now, because it would be such a full circle moment if you were like, oh my God, it's a year and a half later, or a half a year later, almost a year later, and you're shouting me out. That would be a full circle moment. So please comment if you're watching this and you're just now hearing the shout out, or you just skip to this episode right here and you'll hear it. But I think that'll be super, super, super interesting to see. So I had to read that comment. Rados, thank you for the comment. It was super sweet, so I appreciate you. And now we're gonna get onto the quotes. So quote number 9, I think these are in order of like his most famous quotes. So he said, "I think that everybody needs 4 things in life. Everybody needs something to do regardless of age. Everybody needs someone to love. Everybody needs something to hope for, and of course everybody needs someone to believe in." And that is such a powerful quote, because this quote, if you dissect it, really just talks about having purpose in life, right? And purpose comes from so many different forms, so many different waves, right? Everybody needs something to do regardless of age. Sometimes your purpose is just doing stuff. And it could be doing stuff for yourself, for other people, just doing stuff, right? Like my purpose is to play sports and have fun and be with my friends, right? And then everybody needs someone to love. Maybe you're doing it for a loved one. Maybe you're doing it for your kids, your wife, your spouse. And maybe that is your motivation for having purpose. And then everybody needs something to hope for. Whether you're religious or not, whatever you believe in, whatever you don't believe in, to have something to hope for is so strong. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you determined. And from reading a bunch of Lou Holtz's quotes, he talks about motivation. And he talks about commitment. He talks about having that backing you need to just keep going. Because he coached what did we just read? 12 different programs or something insane. He coached for, I don't know, decades upon decades. And so how in his mind did he stay motivated to keep going? So many different programs he restarted. He kept going. He did this. So how did he stay so motivated to keep going? And that's what he talks about, is having something to live for, having something to pursue. And I think it's super powerful and super motivational. And what I want for your comment, ladies and gentlemen, is which of the three are you? What do you do that motivates you? Who do you do it for? And what do you hope for? And my goal is just I hope for, what do I do it for? I do it for my family. My goal, I'm a big legacy guy, right? I have to leave a legacy for my family. I want my kids, my mom, my kids, my wife to be proud of me. When they talk about me, when I'm still, whether I'm still here or not here, I want them to say, wow, my dad was a bad but individual. He did this. He helped so many people. This was his legacy. This YouTube channel, I can listen to a video every single day for the rest of my life and still hear his voice, still get the motivation I need. Because one day my kids are going to be watching this and they're going to say, wow, my dad motivated me today. And that is so powerful to hear. Like, motivation from people that you love, from people that you respect, hits so much differently from than just a random person, right? And so that's my goal with all this, is to really leave that shtick, my impact on the world by these videos, by doing the good things, everything like that. So yeah, we'll keep going with the quotes, but that's what I want to hear from you. He said, quote number 8, he said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. That's the classic quote of, it ain't about what happens and it's how you react. It's not about how hard you get knocked down. It's about how you get back up. Stuff's going to happen to you, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get torched. You're going to fail. You're going to get upset. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to be mad. You're going to be wanting to give up. It's how you react to that situation that defines who you are. If you're the person, when you face adversity, when you face defeat, when you face you get in trouble or you do the wrong thing, or maybe you accidentally goofed up and cost some people some money, like, how you react and how you get back up determines who you are, not the mistake you made. One mistake does not determine. And let's be completely transparent right now, ladies and gentlemen. In the military, they offer mental health services, right? I am currently in mental health right now. I suffer with extreme anxiety, the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough. I suffer with that. I have to live with that every single day of my life. That's the self-doubt, because I think I have to be perfect. And so the therapist today, because I did it today, the therapist today was basically saying, we have to take those thoughts and change and really just rewire your brain on how you think about them, because my brain tells me I need to have all the answers. I don't care if you're a brand new commander, if you're a brand new boss, you need the answer. And just, it's not realistic, but I was raised with such high expectations. I was raised in well, my dad was a Marine, all this, and so my expectations, my work ethic is so high, it's almost unachievable And so the therapist was talking to me today, and she was just like, it's not a bad thing. Like, and she kind of opened my eyes, like, it's not a bad thing that you're reacting to the stimuli, your anxiety, and doing better than a good amount of people. It's not a bad thing. Like, your brain's telling you it's a bad thing. It's not. The problem is the bad part about it is when you're not able to relax, you're not able to, just hang out without it affecting you, right? Because I have extreme anxiety, so I can't just sit here, relax, have fun. I'm constantly thinking of, wait, excuse me? I'm constantly thinking about, like, if I'm doing the right thing, if this X, Y, and Z happens. So that's just how my brain reacts. But we're working on it. It's not about, the action. It's about how you react to it. So I'm trying to fix the how you react to a part in my life. So just to be completely frank with y'all, completely honest with y'all, mental health resources, mental health therapy, getting help from a doctor, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Am I going to freak out? I don't think I'm going to freak out. Why? All right, we'll just get rid of this. I've been wanting to get rid of this for a while. And so mental health therapy, all that is good. The stimulus or the stigma of it is, oh, you're weak if you get this, you're this if you get this. Like, heck to the no, ladies and gentlemen. If you have that dog in you, if you have that much pride to go get help, if you have that courage to go seek help when you need it, that's admirable. That's called having that dog in you. Now, the people who are too scared to get that help, different story, right? I get it. You're afraid to get judged, but to have that courage, that's what you need. That's that dog in you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are struggling and you don't know, like you're suffering with anxiety, or you don't know how you react to this, like you get knocked down, but you can't get back up. You're crumbling, like you're in the darkness. Go seek help, ladies and gentlemen. Go seek help. It is the quote unquote cool and hip thing to do nowadays. It is awesome. It is admirable to go seek mental health services. Make sure y'all do that. If that's the only thing you take from this video, if you had to take one thing from this video, that's what I want y'all to take, ladies and gentlemen. Seek help. It is admirable. You're a dog for doing it. And let me know that you're doing it. If you want to message me on Discord, I will tell you what has helped me with anxiety. I will tell you what has helped me with the constant fear of failure, or the idea of not being good enough. So if y'all need someone to talk to, ladies and gentlemen, if you're afraid to talk to your parents, you're afraid to talk to your friends, message me. I promise you I'll help you out. I will respond within a day. I will respond same day, ladies and gentlemen. I will be there for you. I will help you, and I can guarantee that. I can 100% guarantee that. Wow, we got a lot off that quote. Holy cow. I like that. See, this is what I love the quotes, because it sparks the conversation. I need this. I need this. And I need this. Okay. Let's see. Next quote says, do right, do your best, treat others as you want to be treated. That's just a simple, normal quote. If you wouldn't want someone talking to you the way you talk to someone else, you fix it. That's my biggest pet peeve. If you disrespect someone else, I will destroy your life. That is a simple fact about it. There's no sugarcoating it. If you are going to talk down to someone, I will talk down to you, and I will ensure that you do not talk down to someone else. Do not disrespect people. Do not disrespect people. That's a point blank in the story. If you disrespect someone, you will be disrespected. I can guarantee that. I will make sure you feel like a POS because you're disrespecting people. So many people try to disrespect their server. They disrespect the trash man, or they disrespect some sort of like assistant, right? Because they think they're better than everybody. I promise you, I will ruin your day if you disrespect anybody else. I can guarantee you that. If I catch wind of any of you doing that, I will ban you from the channel. I'll ban you from the Discord in a blink of an eye. I won't even hesitate. If I see anybody disrespecting anybody in Discord, you will be banned on the spot. No hesitation, point blank in the story. Thank you. That's all I have to say about that. Quote number 6. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. It is, oh, what's up, dude? It is so true, and it's such a weird thought. And it's kind of what my therapist said today too, is like it's not the thoughts that kill you. It's how your brain processes the thought, right? So it's all about perspective. For example, like if I'm trying to think of something, like if I said, hey, I don't even know what like a good example to phrase this, but it's how you process it. It's some people could say, hey, how do I phrase this? I don't even know how to phrase it. It's basically like, it's all about the perspective on how you process the thoughts. You could either take those thoughts and perceive them negatively. Like, for example, like my thoughts of anxiety, right? My fear of failure. I could perceive them as negative, like, oh my God, my body's shutting down. I'm a failure. I've lost hope. Like, I just can't live up to the expectations. Or I could process the thoughts and say, okay, this thought is good because my body wants me to be better. My mind is telling me that I'm better than X, Y, and Z. I deserve, or the person deserves perfection or attempt at perfection. This idea, this person deserves at least some sort of perfection, some like X, Y, and Z, right? And so it's all about how you process the thought, and that's what we're working on therapy is that the thought process. It's so weird. Like like we ruck in the military, and it's like if you put 50 pounds on your lower back and try to carry it, it's tough. But if you put the 50 pounds up near your shoulders, it's pretty daggum easy. It's like carrying dog food. This is a weird analogy. 90% of y'all have carried dog food inside, right? That 50-pound bag of dog food, you're just like, Jesus Christ, dude, this is heavy. You're carrying it like, in your arms, you're curling it. All the weight's forward, you're struggling, you're waddling like a little penguin. But as soon as you get that bag of dog food on your shoulder, it feels 30 pounds lighter. That's literally how anxiety feels. That's how all of this, the load feels, that it's not about how you carry it, or it's not about the load, it's how you carry it. It's just, the thoughts are the same way. If you carry those thoughts in a very negative manner, it's going to suck. But if you can manipulate the thoughts to carry them a different way, it's like carrying that dog food. It's such a weird analogy, but it's so true. Like that dog food feels 30 pounds lighter. Your brain, those thoughts will feel 30 pounds lighter when you can just figure out how to process them. And again, therapy. Seek help. Quote number 5 says, don't tell your problems to people. 80% don't care, and the other 20% are glad you have them. That's a crazy quote. 80% of people care. 20% are glad you have them. That's a quote that I understand from the perspective that he's trying to say it from. Of kind of you need to rely on yourself, dig deep, and have that grit to solve yourself. But also, I like he's right about the 80% of people don't care about your problems, but those other 20%, I think the other 20% should be your close friends, your family, that will help you if you need help. So I don't necessarily agree with that quote, and that's good. What's good is a lot of people feel like because they agree with something that they have to agree with everything that someone says, and I'm allowed to agree with a little bit and then disagree with a little bit. It's kind of cool how that thing. You don't have to agree with what everybody says. Like if you just say, like, I support Joseph Biden, then people are like, well, you agree with every policy. It's like, no. Well, I like Trump. Well, no. I like some of his policies. I don't have to like all of them. It's the same thing with quotes. It's the same thing with advice. Like, you may not agree with everything I say on this channel, and that's great. I want you to have your own opinion. I want you to stand by your opinion. I want you to prove your opinion. And don't be afraid to change. Maybe I read this quote in 5 years, and I go, okay, I understand it now. I agree. You don't have to agree with everything anybody says. You don't have to agree with what I say. Have your own opinion, and don't be afraid to change that opinion, though. Some people get so stuck in their ways, and they're like, well, I hate this person. It's like, did you actually give them a chance, So You never know. Maybe in the future I agree with this quote, but for right now I do not. Next quote, don't run if you can walk. Don't walk if you can stand. Don't stand if you can sit. Don't sit if you can lie down. Don't run if you can walk. Don't walk if you can stand. Don't stand if you can sit. Don't sit if you can lie down. I don't even know what that quote says. Y'all let me know how y'all interpret that quote. I would be very interested to see how y'all interpret that quote. Next quote. This is a good one. I follow 3 rules. Do the right thing, do the best you can, and always show people you care. You would be very surprised. And it actually kind of was cool because I heard another quote today is, you want to build the connection with the people before you start telling them what to do. Because what a lot of people fail on is, if you tell a random stranger, hey, I need you to pull this Excel document and format it, you got 60 minutes. That stranger's gonna be like, who the heck is this guy? Like, what are you talking about, dude? But if it's your buddy, if it's your friend, or if it's your coworker that you built that connection with, then it could potentially allow for that ease of communication. Like, if someone respects you, if someone likes you, if someone genuinely wants to make your life easier, then it could quite literally be the change of someone being disgruntled when you ask them to do something and not. And so that's why it's so important that you show people that you care, that you care for your people, because there's going to be some times we have to tell those people, like, hey, we just got to, put our nose down and grind. And if they respect you and if they understand, like, hey, he's doing this for my best interest, or hey, we got to do this, lock it in, the team camaraderie, the hypeness, the upliftingness, the teamwork is going to skyrocket. So always do best by people. If people understand that you have their best interest at heart, if you care about them, if you genuinely have their best interest at heart, they're going to help you out so much more than you can understand. And vice versa. You help them out, they help you out, and then life just goes so much more smooth. So always do the right thing, do the best you can. And this is really a weird... Exactly what I was thinking, Mr. Villager. Here's what we'll do. Let's make a pathway this way. Yeah, and always show people you care. Like, we had a guy in our shop today, or 2-3 days ago, that he was having chest pain. And I don't mess with chest pain. Had a couple heart attacks in my family, don't mess with chest pain. And we gave him a pretty high level task to do before, end of day or whatever. And so he was like, hey, so I'm having chest pain. It's like, stinging pain, and then it goes to like a dull ache. And I was like, okay, go to the ER. And he had a lot of respect, and he was like, he cared enough to say, well, sir, you gave me this task. Like, do you want me to stay and finish it? And I was like, absolutely not. I appreciate that. Like, thank you for the grindiness. Thank you for looking out for us. But go get seen. And you could tell it was something that clicked in his eyes of like, oh, that really showed that my leadership cares more about me than a task. And you could just tell it really made his day. And the next time I give him a task, he's probably going to work a little bit harder to accomplish it next time. You got to care about your people. You got to care about your people. You got to care about your people. It's literally just that simple. You can't work alone, and you never will work alone. As long as you care about your people, they will be there when you need it. When I'm having chest pain, when I need to go to the doctor, I know my people will have my back and look after the shop. All right. Last 2. Winners embrace hard work. They love the discipline of it. They trade off their making the trade-off they're making to win. Losers, on the other hand, see it as punishment, and there's the difference. Yeah, a lot of people just don't understand this. Like, everything you did in football, those hills, those sled pushes, those burpees and all that, it's not a punishment. It's hard work. It breeds discipline. You messed up, there's consequences. You ran the play wrong, there's consequences. If you run the play wrong during the game, you're going to lose the game. If you mess up at work in the healthcare world, you could potentially kill a patient. Punishments are not the disciplinary actions are not punishments. They are corrective actions. And it's a big buzzword in the military, corrective action. No one wants to punish someone for a accidental error. However, that accidental error can turn into someone dying. So you have to do those corrective actions. You have to do the paperwork. You have to do the quote-unquote punishment because it breeds discipline. You will not make that mistake again if I make you stay late for an hour and write me a paper about why it's bad that you messed up. I promise you won't. It's going to be so ingrained in your brain that you won't mess up, and that's good. You may be a little bitter at first, but the great ones, the winners, will see that and understand, hey, I could have killed a patient. That's on me. Let's move forward. And last quote, ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. Some people are not naturally gifted at sports. Some people are not naturally gifted with analyzing data. Some people don't have that creative brain. I lack the creative brain. I lack seeing the picture and then coming up with crazy ideas. I'm a very black and white, like, we're doing this and we got to execute. My wife, on the other hand, the people I surround myself with are the creative aspects of that. They're like, how about we do it this way? And I'm like, I didn't even think about that. Great idea. Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. It's just simple, ladies and gentlemen. Why? It goes back to the question we first started with, why you're doing this. What motivates you to keep going? What are you doing? And then the attitude determines how well you do it. How much do you care what your wife and your kids think? How much of a legacy do you want to leave? What is that attitude? How well are you going to do it? How big is that legacy going to be? Is it going to be just a small, like, hey, he was a good man? Or is it going to be, he was a great man, he made this impact on the world, he served his country, he did X, Y, and Z. That's the attitude, ladies and gentlemen. Have the best attitude, be willing to learn, and stay beautiful, stay smiling.